is Latterbarrow on the northwestern shore of Windermere. It's what I call a tourist's fell. You don't have to be a fell walker to enjoy it. This can be your holiday adventure. When you've done with going on a cruise or pottering around the shops, you can spend a day clambering up the side of a mini mountain in perfect safety. A bit of technical detail first. Latterbarrow is the best end of 800 feet high, so a long way short of actually being a mountain. But if you're not used to walking, it will certainly seem like one. It is just 1.5 miles from Hawkshead to the summit. Even shorter if you take the steepest route straight up the side of the hill. The first mile is a bit like a walk in the park. A good well-made path across the fields, followed by a country lane. As for the last half mile, well, that's where the fun begins. Now, parts of it are a bit rocky, so you can imagine that you're climbing something much higher. There are dangerous rivers to cross, wild beasts to encounter, and a steep bit before we get to the top. But oh, what a top! Views in every direction. The start point is Hideaway's self-catering office in Hawkshead. As well as having some really good self-catering properties, they also sell a little book full of ideas for family-friendly walks around Hawkshead. Latterbarrow is on page 37. I'll find it in a minute. There you go. All you got to do is follow the route instructions. And once you're on the walk, the paths and signs are clear, so it's almost impossible to go wrong. Even for me. The route takes you out of Hawkshead and across the fields to the hamlet of Latterbarrow, a place you've probably never heard of. This initial part of the walk across the fields used to be very boggy. The fields were subject to flooding when there was heavy rain. This path makes all the difference, and it's nicely drained from each side. It means you can walk along it even with a buggy without getting your feet wet. It's brilliant. At Latterbarrow we turn right to walk along this lane for about 1/3 of a mile. As you can see, it's very pleasant, with stunning views across the fields to the mountains beyond. At the end of the lane, turn left, walk along the road for 50 yards or so, and then go through this gate to start your mini mountain climbing adventure. After a moderately steep, rocky climb, you come to this fork in the track. Right, we've got a choice here. The more energetic might like to go left. It's a steep climb, but it's quite short. However, if you've got short, stubby little legs like me, you might prefer to go right. It's about 1/4 of a mile further, but it's nothing like as steep. I know what you're thinking. That's the obligatory sheep shot. Every walking video has to have a shot of sheep. But actually, they're the only two living things that I've encountered on this walk so far. I just haven't come across anybody. There's nobody on the fell. It's just on 3 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. There's nobody here. It's a wonderful place to come if you want to be at peace and quiet. Apart from demented cameramen shouting at the microphone, of course. This longer route is by far the easiest way. Just follow the line of the wall up this gentle slope.
There's a short, steep bit just up to my left.
Just to show how easy it is, I'll run up it. Second thoughts, I won't. Too much sticky toffee pudding for lunch, I think. Don't worry, the steep bit doesn't last long. The cairn soon comes into view, although it's not so much a cairn as an obelisk. You often find this in the Lake District. The low fells have really big cairns, totally out of proportion with their size, while some of the big mountains have just nothing more than a measly little pile of stones to mark the top. It might be a relatively small hill, but it's still got some pretty impressive views. There's Windermere, the town of Windermere, there on the other side of the lake of the same name. Forest Enclave Heights there, you can quite clearly see the television mast and the mobile phone aerial there. There's Lowood, actually Ray Castle, there just in the bottom left hand of the picture. Sambleside. It's Fairfield. The Langdale Fells. Crinkle Crags and Weatherland there to the left.
When you get a view like that, makes it all worthwhile.